Hello there, today we're going to be going through the rest of this sketchbook, so if you have no idea what's going on, I would suggest you go back and watch part 1 where I explain what this sketchbook is and why I'm looking through it and what all the prompts are and things like that. But if you've seen part 1, I'll just jump right into it so I don't waste any of your time. So this was where we finished off in part 1. I went through prompts 1 to 50 and I'm just literally gonna carry on where we left off. Prompt 51 is bonfire. This is okay. I don't know. Wow. The artwork is pretty lazy. I think even last year when I drew these, I could have done a lot better than this. I think, again, a lot of these prompts I feel like time was the biggest issue, where I didn't really have a lot of time to draw, or I was feeling pretty uninspired, I was really busy. Like I explained before, I think in the last video, doing a 100-day drawing challenge is really tough because although you are getting a lot of practice and it is really fun to do, I don't want to discourage anyone from giving it a good go, but sometimes you can get really drained and you can be pretty uninspired, and on those days you still have to produce something. I quite like this as an idea, it's pretty cute, just two people standing around, there's a huge fire. I like this little sparkler effect, that's cute, but it's just a pretty boring image overall, and the colouring just isn't that good, there isn't any shading, there isn't any background. Oh well. Oh dear, we've reached a completely blank page. Number 52 was fireworks, and I guess I just kept putting it off because I didn't know how to draw this. I think also what ended up happening was I didn't want to draw something like this again, except with fireworks. So I was trying to think of something unique and different to do, and also I did a digital drawing the year previous to this, which was just some people sitting on a hill. And then there were some fireworks, so I didn't want to just copy that idea and do that again. Yeah, so this ended up being blank. Oh, I feel really bad about that. I wish I'd have completed all 100, but unfortunately I didn't. Number 53 was butterflies. I really like this. I used a brown outlining pen instead of a black one. I think that was my first time using that brown pen. I think all of these are black pen. Yeah, they are. Wow. I think this is really cute. So I guess this character is supposed to be a butterfly character because she does have the wings and the antennas, and I gave her this fur too, which is more a moth thing, I believe, but it's cute anyway. I like the colour choice. The pinks are really pretty. I think, again, it's one of those that I could have pushed even further. I could have done an even more dynamic pose. I could have drawn like loads of butterflies surrounding her. I could have made her dress more interesting. But it's not bad, I don't hate it. Number 54 is Cat's birthday, or birthday cats I've written. Yeah, this was actually drawn on my cat's birthday. So yeah, they were 2 last year, so they're gonna be 3 this year. Aw. This is pretty cute. Again, I'm not very practiced at drawing animals and I'm not great at drawing cats, but this is supposed to be a bit of a representation of what my cats actually look like. Aw, that's kind of cute. Number 55 was pick a character from an art book at random and then draw from memory. I remember this one. So I'm going to have to dig out that book so I can show you. So I'll insert the clip here because I'll do it after I film this. I have these like how to draw books from when I first started out drawing. I picked a character at random, so I guess I just opened the page up at a random page, and I'll show you on screen now what page I flipped to. But I could only look at it for I think 5 seconds and then had to try and draw it from memory, so here is what I ended up drawing. It's pretty cute, and I think it's an interesting and fun prompt as well when I've been trying to come up with my own drawings for all of the other prompts. It's nice to have something fun and different to do. Number 56 was tattoo, and I guess I never finished this one because it's just pencil. but you can kind of see what I was going for. I was trying to draw this tattoo artist doing some art on this person's arm, I guess. Again, this was kind of a difficult prompt because it's a lot of things that I didn't know how to draw. I didn't know how to draw like tattoo patterns and things, so I didn't want to draw a person that was covered in tattoos because I thought it would probably look bad because I don't really know how to do that. So I thought instead I would draw a tattoo scene where she is tattooing. So, no, I guess I never finished this one because I wasn't super confident with the art itself and I didn't really know how to finish it off or how to draw any of her equipment or anything, so I kind of drew the poses and then was like, where do I go from here? Oh, cute! I completely forgot about this one. Wow, completely forgot that this existed. Number 57 was jellyfish. This is really interesting because I drew a jellyfish girl not that long ago for a 3-marker challenge. I think I like this one better. Again, it's not the best artwork. It's very flat again. I don't know why I was against shading things for some reason. But I kind of like it. I really like the fact that this in the background is lineless, so it gives this kind of watery, floaty effect. I wish I'd used that linelessness a little bit more throughout the image, but I think that this is an interesting and cute design. The interesting thing is I gave her a pretty similar hairstyle to the jellyfish girl I drew more recently. But yeah, and her skin is bright pink, which isn't cool. I gave her really round features. This is kind of a messy drawing, but I really like it as an idea. That's pretty interesting. Number 58 is Poppy. So this is another one of those pages that was drawn on a specific day, like the Halloween ones were actually on the run up to Halloween. I think I forgot to mention, but the bonfire prompt and the firework prompt were for bonfire night, which I'm not sure you celebrate in other countries, but here in the UK we do. And this was another one that was drawn on a specific day. And this one was for Poppy Day or Remembrance Day, so this would have been the 11th of November. And we use poppies as like a symbol of remembrance for the First World War, so I thought that that would be a nice prompt to have on this particular day. And I tried my best to do a realistic rendition of a poppy. I'm not great at drawing flowers, especially not realistically, but I like that I gave it a go and it was something a little bit different to do on this day. Number 59 was my original character. I don't really have a lot to say. The artwork itself isn't that great. Again, there's like no shading going on. I don't know why I flat coloured most of these rather than just taking a little bit of extra time to shade them a little bit, whether it be with markers or with coloured pencils, but regardless. Prompt number 60 was geometric. This is a little weird. I guess I was just feeling a little bit uninspired and wanted to do something completely different because I decided to colour this with coloured pencils. It's also coloured very roughly. And I also haven't outlined it, I've just left it as pencil lines. It leaves quite an interesting effect, but it's definitely not something that I'm practiced at. I wouldn't say that this is necessarily badly drawn. I think the hands look okay, and this is kind of an interesting concept, but it's not that great either. I don't know. I don't love it. But I do like the fact that I was at least trying something different. Number 61 was Cactus. I think this is pretty cute. I tried to use as many different green shades as I could for different elements of the character and the background. I drew all these little pots with these different kinds of cacti in them. I think that this is pretty cute. Again, there's like hardly any shading going on, there's no real definition. I really feel like some of these prompts or some of these images would be a lot better if I'd just taken the time to really add some like value and some depth to them. I feel like nowadays I wouldn't call a drawing finished unless I'd gone in and added some shading in there in some way, shape or form. I don't know whether I didn't just due to time or laziness or what. I guess part of it was just I was drawing every day, so I felt like if I don't have to add something then I'm not going to. A little bit of stubbornness, but I do like this drawing, I don't hate it. Okay, so this is a little interesting. So these next few, and yeah, I didn't finish one of them. Oh, I didn't finish two of them. That's a shame. So number 62 was Christmas card design. So the reason that this is so far before Christmas, because we're still in November, I believe, at the moment. My mom asked me to design some stuff to go on Christmas cards so that we could get it printed. We never actually did, because I never finished them, because there was so much other stuff going on in our lives at the time. But I gave it a good go, and that's why this is so far before Christmas, because we wanted the opportunity and the time available to get it printed if we wanted to. I really like this. I did make the effort to actually put some shading into this one, which is why it looks so much better than all the others. And I put a lot of time into it. Again, there's things I would change, so I think the silhouette could be a lot clearer. I think this leg is completely lost in the silhouette, so it looks a little strange. I would change that if I were redrawing it. But I really like it. I think it's super cute. I think this is pretty cute, and I like that I put a little bit of extra effort into it. So these next two are unfinished, but these were also supposed to be Christmas card designs, so I left 3 prompts open to do this thing, to do these designs. But this one I never finished. You can kind of start to see maybe what I was going for, but it's just a sketch. And again, number 64, another Christmas card design. I was going for a little sleepy owl in a little hat, which would have been super cute if I'd have finished it, but I didn't, unfortunately. Okay, so number 65 is red, and these next few are another kind of series of prompts, like the 4 elements and the 4 seasons. I decided to do the colours of the rainbow, starting with red. So I drew this character and gave her all red clothing and hair and lipstick, and drew kind of traditionally red items around. Yeah, I think this is really cute. I quite like this artwork actually as well. These next couple are some that I'm still quite proud of from this book. I think a lot of the earlier ones weren't that great. There's still not a lot of shading going on, but you can see that I shaded the skin, so that's something. There is a little bit of shading going on here. Still not quite enough. Nowadays I would do a lot more, but it's not too bad. I quite like it. So number 66 is orange. Like I said, we're going through the colours of the rainbow now, so same thing. I drew this cute girl. I really like this. There could have been a lot more shading going on to really make it pop and really make it a good image, but I don't hate the artwork. It's not that bad. And we have all these little orange items in the background. Oh, and all of them have the lollipop and the crayon in the background, so, and they rotate around, so they're here and here on this one, and then here and here on this one, so they kind of rotate. And here's yellow. I think I probably could have thought of something a bit more creative for yellow, just because I feel like this one is the most boring outfit out of all of them. But I don't hate it, and again we have all the cute yellow stuff in the background and the crayon and the lollipop still rotating around. And here's green. Again we have the crayon and the lollipop rotating around again, cute little frog, little 4-leaf clover, some fruits and stuff. Again, I quite like this design. I was really trying to make all of their outfits distinctly different from one another, so I don't repeat an outfit twice in this little series. So we have kind of the short dress with a jacket on top and this neckline, and then I went with more of a top and shorts and like a cardigan type thing instead. And then we have a much longer dress with a different neckline, and then we have 3/4 length. Try and make them as different as possible. Here's blue, again, different outfit. I really like the short hair. I wish I drew hair like that more often because I think it's really cool. And again, some little blue items around, the crayon and the lollipop. I couldn't think of as many blue things as I could for the other colours. There's not as many like distinctly blue things out there, I don't think, but I thought of a few. And here's purple, and she's holding the lollipop and the crayons down here. And we have some flowers and grapes and crystals. And again, tried to give her a completely different outfit too. So she's wearing a skirt and a long sleeve shirt with a completely different neckline. So I think that's interesting. And number 71 was rainbow. To finish off the kind of rainbow coloured prompts, I did one that was entirely a rainbow. I still really like this. Again, there's things that I would change. I think this hand needs to be changed on, and the proportions overall could probably use a little bit of tweaking and improving. But overall, I really like this, even now. I would be proud of this if I drew it today, to be honest. I love that I managed to get the rainbow colours into the eyes. And then she has rainbow colours like around, and then these are rainbows, and the shirt is white, and then rainbows on the dress and in the hair. I think it's really pretty, to be honest. I love the little cloud effect too. Honestly, I'd be proud of this if I drew it today. The only thing that I would improve, like I said, a little bit of the anatomy, but also I'd give it a lot more distinctive shading. There is some shading going on, but I'd make it even bolder. But I still really like this. This might be my favourite drawing in the whole book. This is probably going on the thumbnail. Number 72 was draw some people from photos. Number 73 is gymnastics. This is, again, a really lazy drawing. I think the anatomy's all right, considering it's a pretty difficult sort of pose. It's really lazily drawn. The line art is clearly very lazy. The colouring is even going over the lines. I guess I just didn't have any time at all. Number 74 is fireflies. I remember my markers were running out, so you can kind of tell with this blue in the background how patchy it is, and I didn't even attempt to colour all of the grass. I did the outlines of the grass with coloured pencil, and then didn't bother to colour the rest. I think just because I didn't have a marker that would do it, and I thought it would absolutely take forever with coloured pencil, and I did not have the time last year. Number 75 was piano, and I tried to draw a piano, and it's not a bad attempt. It's not great. I'm not very good at drawing geometric things. But I really tried to make all the lines work and the perspective work, and it's not great, but it's not that bad either. It doesn't really look proportionate. Like, I feel like if you had an actual piano, it would be a lot bigger than that in comparison to a normal human. It looks a little small, but it's not that bad. At least I tried something new. Oh no, we're getting into more and more of them are unfinished. Number 76 was bakery. And I remember what this was gonna be. I had this inspiration of doing this whole scene where there's like all of these bakery items in like cases at the front, and we had the little till here and a little jar, and someone was working in the background, and I was gonna do like loads of perspective stuff. It was way too ambitious, and I started to kind of plan out some of the lines and then ended up not having time to finish this. It was a little too ambitious. I'd love to finish this at some point. Number 77 was robot. And again, I feel like this is pretty uninspired. I'm really not great at drawing like mechanical stuff either, so I don't know why I chose robot as one of the prompts. But I gave it a good go, I think. Maybe not a good go, but I gave it a go. I don't really like this very much. It's kind of messy and not very interesting, and there isn't a lot going on. Number 78 was fizzy watermelon. So this was heavily inspired by this particular sweet that you can get. I don't know what exactly they're called, but they're pretty much in like all pick and mixes, or at least they were when I was a kid, and I loved them for some reason. They don't really taste like watermelon. They have this very distinct taste that's like very artificial watermelon, if you know what I mean. But I really liked them. And I thought that it would be cute to draw a character inspired by them. So I drew this cute character, and the colour palette is all inspired by like the watermelon colours, and then I did all these tiny little white dots to indicate the little fizzy sugar coating on them. Prompt number 76 was 1920s, so I googled some references and did my best to make this at least a little bit accurate. Yeah, this was just inspired by some references that I looked up of 1920s kind of fashion. I chose kind of a muted colour palette for it, and again, I feel like this would be 100 times better if I'd taken the time to add some dynamic shading to it, but I don't hate it as a drawing. I remember taking a lot of time to try my best to make the proportions look nice, and make the face look nice, because I was really inspired by some pictures that I found of 1920s makeup and like the way that the brows were and the eyes were, so I really tried to put a little bit of effort into the face, but it's a little bit boring as an illustration. Number 80 was juggling. I don't know. I wanted to use a lot of different bright colours. I don't hate this. I think it's kind of interesting. I don't really know what to say about it though, to be honest. I don't really know where my thought process was when I drew this. I think it's fun, and I like that I used a lot of different bright colours. Number 81 was another one of these weird prompts, but it was really fun. So this was turn to pages 3, 5, 9, 14 and 20 in an art book and draw a character's hair, top, bottom and accessories from those pages respectively. So again, I was using those like how to draw books that I have like a whole stack. I still have them now. I don't know why I keep them, but I decided to pick random numbers and then flip to those pages and then draw different parts of the character respective to those pages. And this is what I ended up with. This is another unfinished one. That's a shame. This is number 82, and it's supposed to be Forest Spirit, which is an interesting prompt, but I never finished it. I kind of like where this was going, I guess. I drew this kind of pixie-ish inspired character, and like there's these plants growing here. I think it's a cute idea, and I especially liked I deliberately drew the ground so that like where this character's walking, the ground is like sprouting with flowers and stuff. I thought it was a cute idea, but yeah, never finished it. Number 83 was Bubblegum. I like this. Again, it's another one of those that looks really flat, and I wish I'd added a lot more shading to it, but I do like that I took the time to add the white highlights, because I think that's very sort of bubblegum-y. And then I have all these little bubbles in the background that I wish I'd done the same effect with, and used the white highlights. I quite like this. I think it's cute and it's funny, and yeah, it was fun to draw. This is another one that's unfinished, but I got to the point where I was colouring it and ended up abandoning it for some reason at that point. This is number 84, Snacks, and I tried to draw all these different snack foods in the background, and this character's like kind of sitting on them, I guess? I don't really know what's going on here, but it just never ended up getting finished. I also, every time I look at this hand, I'm like, why did I make that decision to draw that hand that way? The hand looks like it's broken. Oh my goodness. Number 85 was Neon. Again, this is like, it's not bad, but it's just so boring. Like, I don't really want to look at this. It's messy too. I think that's the problem, is I just didn't have very much time. I do like that I use the neon markers, because I think it really, you can tell that it's very neon, I suppose, but kind of boring other than that. So this is the same prompt as we had earlier in the book. So there was that one where I did spring and fruit. Use a random number generator and mix the two prompts from this list. So I did the exact same thing again, but this time the numbers that I generated were 20 and 35, which were mermaid and magma. So I mixed those two prompts together and ended up with this. I decided to use an even brighter orange this time than in the magma prompt, which this was the original magma drawing. So you can see I used a much brighter orange, but I also didn't use a dark enough black colour. This is more of just like a dark grey than a black. So I feel like if I'd have used that orange and that black, it would have popped even more and been a lot brighter and cooler, but I don't hate this. It's alright. But I pretty much just copied those other two prompts and stuck them together instead of coming up with like a unique way to mix them together. This is another one that's unfinished. I don't know why I never got around to finishing it. It never even became a full sketch. It doesn't look like I started to plan out some of the proportions and then abandoned it. Oh man, followed by a blank page. That's a shame. I really wish I'd finished all 100 of these. but I tried my best, and I think I was just really busy. This is another one that isn't coloured. I got to the point where it's lined, but it isn't coloured. So this is number 89 in the clouds. So I drew some clouds and a person sitting on them. Yeah, this is fine. It's pretty boring as an illustration. I think maybe if it was coloured, I could have brought a lot more interest to it. But yeah, it is what it is. And it isn't great. Number 90 was playing cards, but a redraw of it. So this was a drawing that I did a really, really long time ago. I can't even remember when, but it was many, many years ago, and this was supposed to be a redraw of that drawing. I'll see if I can dig up the original one. I have absolutely no idea where I'll find it, but I'll try and put it up on the screen for you if I can. This, again, is a little disappointing because I was so excited to redraw it. And it came out pretty underwhelming. I'd love to redraw it again and actually make it good. And again, there's like no shading going on. I don't know why none of these are shaded properly. There's a little bit of shading on the skirt where I've used my outlining pen to add a little bit of cross-hatching, but other than that, absolutely no shading, so it looks incredibly flat. Another unfinished one, that's such a shame. Again, you can tell I must have been pretty burnt out at this point because even the ones that I finished, like this one, are really messy and bad. This is a number 92 umbrella, and it's not great. The proportions are pretty bad, the silhouette's really closed up, the colour choice is kind of haphazard. Yeah. Unfortunately, even the ones I was finishing at this point were not turning out fantastic. I like this one. This is number 93, Ice Skating, and I like this as a drawing. Again, it's not coloured. I wish I'd managed to colour it. It's outlined, but I haven't even erased the pencil lines from underneath. I think this is really cute as a drawing. I remember taking a lot of time to get the sketch right and then didn't have enough time to colour it. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Towards the end of this book, I was really just running out of motivation and energy. Number 94 was Snow, and again we just have a sketch that's unfinished. I think that we're actually completely done with the coloured ones. I don't think any of them are coloured from now on, or even finished. This might be the last one. It's unfinished, so there's not really much to say about it. Oh, we have 95, Fireplace. Again, these prompts were supposed to be on the run-up to Christmas last year, and it's a shame that I never got around to finishing them because I love drawing Christmassy stuff on the run-up to Christmas, but I ended up not being able to finish any of them. I guess just because I was really busy and didn't really have any time. So yeah, these prompts were supposed to be gingerbread, candy cane, red and gold, Christmas, and then congratulations on number 100 for finishing the challenge, but unfortunately I didn't get there. That's a shame. So yeah, these last couple of pages are blank. But I gave it a good go. I think a large chunk of these are finished, and considering I really was drawing these every single day, it was a lot of effort to try and finish all of them. So now I just have the huge task of completing 100 days this year. I'm incredibly scared. And like I said in the last part, I have already started this challenge for this year because I did start on the 15th of September again, so I'm probably going to be posting videos weekly to show you my progress with this challenge this year. So far it's going pretty good. I hope I haven't just jinxed it by saying that, but so far it's going pretty well. I am only a couple of days in, but it's going okay so far, and I'll be excited to post some videos showing you what I've been working on for the past couple of days. So anyway, that is the entirety of this book from 2018. I'm actually working in 2 different sketchbooks this year because I didn't want to rebuy one with 100 pages because you end up with not fantastic page quality, or you end up spending an absolute fortune on the book. So I bought 2 sketchbooks, each with 50 pages, which I think is a bit of a better idea. And I'd love, if I manage to complete this challenge, to do a side-by-side comparison of 2018 and 2019. So that'll be really fun. But anyway, that's it for this book. I hope that this was somewhat interesting, and I also hope that you can see some improvement since last year, because I certainly think that there's a lot of things that I've improved on, especially just taking the time to actually add some dimension and shade everything. But anyway, that's all for now. A goodbye.